Janet often brought her school friends home, but this was the first time she'd brought Molly. She seemed a very nice little girl. Mother and I took to her at once. Mother asked her, "What time does your mummy want you home, dear?" "I haven't got a mummy," Molly said. "I live at Evenley Hall. That's a branch of the National Children's Home. Sister Evelyn, who looks after me, likes me to be back by 8. Mother realized that she hadn't asked the wrong question after all. Molly wasn't in the least put out. When it was time for Molly to go, I thought it would be nice for someone to take her home. That walk was going to take me very much further than I ever dreamed. We knew there was a branch of the National Children's Home at Brackley, but until that moment I'd never been inside the gates. So this is Evenley Hall. What a lovely old house. I wonder who used to live here. "Hello, Mr. Clark," Molly called out, and I realized it must be the superintendent. When he'd thanked me for bringing Molly back, he invited me to come again and meet their big family. "Saturday is a good day," he said. I did go back on Saturday and Molly showed me round. It had never occurred to me before that anyone could be proud of living in a children's home. But as Molly said, "This is New Hall, isn't it nice? It's where we play games," I realized that she was proud of Evenley Hall. The big house is divided into flats. She took me to the one she lived in and introduced me to Sister Evelyn, her sister as she called her. She was the house mother of the family group that Molly belonged to. I asked her how many children she looked after, and she told me there were 9 in her group. I was surprised to see boys and girls together, and she explained that the aim is to build up a group that is as much like a normal family as possible. "David's my oldest boy," she said. "We have children of very different ages, which is also typical of a normal family. Little Mandy's 9. Now let me introduce you to Terry." She explained that when he arrived, he was a very maladjusted little boy. He came from a broken family where he'd been badly treated. It's going to take quite a time for him to settle down. Johnny is quite a bookworm. He just reads everything. Peter is the baby of the family. Molly asked if she could show me her bedroom. It was just as nice as my sister's room at home. Then she showed me one of the boys' bedrooms. Jenny took over as my guide and showed me her toy locker. Each child has a toy cupboard of their own. By the time tea was ready, I had become really involved. Sister Evelyn seemed so calm and collected. Looking after 9 children, I'm sure I should be in a flurry all the time. I wondered how many groups like this there were. Sister told me there were 6 groups like hers here at Brackley. And by the way, she said, life isn't always as quiet as this. No sooner had she spoken... Someone had pushed Peter over. Watching Sister, I suddenly found myself thinking, but it's not her child. How wonderful that she can show so much concern and affection for a little boy that is really someone else's. Before I left, I called on Mr. Clark, the superintendent. Thank you for inviting me here, Mr. Clark. I must admit it isn't a bit how I imagined a children's home. I mean, it's so homely here.
Well, why shouldn't it be?
Well, I rather thought it would be bare and uncomfortable, a bit like an institution, but it's not like that at all.
But your home isn't uncomfortable and institutional, I'm sure. So why should this one be?
I know there are many misconceptions about children's homes. Some people even think we still dress our children in uniform. In fact, they're dressed as individuals and treated as individuals. Of course, these children are deprived. They're deprived of their real parents. For many different reasons, they have no homes of their own. That's no reason why they should be deprived of anything else. So we make sure this home is the nearest thing to that warm, affectionate home they no longer have.